Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Christy. I'm a homeschool mom to 3. Today's video is going to be all about curriculum. Nothing new. I talk about curriculum all the time, but today's video I wanted to talk about like a little bit more of some unique perspectives about curriculum that I've learned throughout the years of homeschooling. So the first thing that I have learned and realized over the years is that just because a curriculum works beautifully, wonderfully, magically, lovely, and you love it so much for 1 child, 2 children, even 3 children, does not mean it's going to work for the next child. Every child is unique in how they learn, how they absorb information, and what works well for one or multiple may not work for another child. And the other way around, just because a curriculum didn't work for 1, 2, or 3 children does not mean that it won't work for another child. This is why I will never say that I will never use a resource again, because even if it was something that did not work or was like an epic fail for one of my children or more of my children, does not mean that it won't for my upcoming children that aren't there yet. So just keep that in mind when you are selecting curriculum or before you write off a certain curriculum. The next thing that I have come to realize about curriculum is that it is just as important for the curriculum to work for you as the teacher as it is for the children. So yes, it is very important that you find a curriculum that clicks well and works really well for your type of learner that you have, but also if it's a curriculum that goes against your natural teaching style too much, or it pushes you too far in a way that you don't really like, or it just doesn't fit with the way that you teach, it's going to cause you to be a little more inconsistent with it. You're going to not want to pick it up or use it. You're going to dread doing that subject. And if you're not enjoying your time with that subject and that curriculum, your kids are going to pick up on it, and it's just going to be like a tension point. Yes, it is important for the kids to do well with it, but it also is important for it to, come fairly natural to you. Going along with that, I have learned that there is no perfect curriculum out there. I have spent a lot of time, looking for that perfect reading curriculum, that perfect math curriculum, that perfect history curriculum that was just gonna be easy and it was just gonna make everything just be wonderful all the time. And that is just not the case. Curriculum is flawed. Every curriculum has its flaws. Every curriculum has its pros and its cons. And you as the teacher need to just weigh those. So put it on a scale. Your pros outweigh your cons. That's a good curriculum. If the cons are less than the pros, if they are just not like that big of a deal or like a deal breaker, then that makes a good curriculum and you're going to use that curriculum. You just have to learn and gauge what you can live with and what you can't. And that's kind of how I go with curriculum. So if the pros outweigh the little things that I may not love about a curriculum, then I will go ahead and use it and be consistent with it. The cons are like deal breakers or major things that I can't get past, then we can't use that curriculum. Another thing that I have seen also is that just because a curriculum is more expensive or has a heftier price tag does not mean that it's better. It does not mean that it's more thorough or that it's better in any way. There are some really, really wonderful resources and curriculums that are very affordable and they're lovely and they're gems and you just have to find them. But just assuming that the pricey, flashy curriculum is just going to be better because it's priced that way, like it should be, it's not always the case. So don't just assume that. Going along with that, don't feel like, and you've probably already heard this, but I'm going to mention it anyway, but don't feel like you have to follow a curriculum to the T, like verbatim, like every word in the curriculum, every project, every activity, everything. You don't have to go word for word. You don't have to do everything in the curriculum. Personally, and other people might feel differently about this, and it depends on the subject, but personally, I don't even get stressed about finishing the curriculum in its entirety by the end of the school year. Now that depends on the subject. Even in the school system, they don't finish their curriculum cover to cover. Like, they don't have the time for that. And you also may not have the time to finish it all. Maybe it takes you slower to work through things. It's better that your child master and like understand and develop a true understanding and retention of the information than it is to just get through and check off all of the boxes of the curriculum. Use curriculum as a tool and change it, tweak it, make it work for you. Customize it for your homeschool and what's best for your family. The last thing that I'm going to touch on is the fact that I feel like curriculum is such a focus of a homeschooler, especially like a newer homeschooler. Like you feel like the curriculum is the key to success at homeschooling. That is not the case. The success of your homeschool, from what I've learned over the years, depends far more greatly on the teamwork between you and your child, the determination that you guys have, the hard work that you put into your homeschool. That is what makes your homeschool successful, in my opinion. Curriculum is, like I've already mentioned, a tool, and I love curriculum, and I think I would be a little lost without it, to be honest, personally. I know people that don't use curriculum at all, and they have a great homeschool. For me, I love using curriculum, and I like to use it to guide me in educating my children. I use it as a guide. I use it in that way. But the way that my child and I work together, the way that I try to make the lessons come alive for them, and each one individually and uniquely, the way that my child puts in the effort and the hard work, that is what makes a successful homeschool, not the curriculum. So I hope that you enjoyed listening to me chat about curriculum and some different perspectives about it and things I've learned about it specifically throughout the years. If you guys have anything to say on this topic, maybe you have realized something about curriculum or have a different perspective even than what I shared, please feel free to leave it down below so that we can have a chat and a discussion about it. I love doing that. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.